Well, I guess I got everything pre-prepped and all set out. Yeah, now I'm just waiting on my friends and family to show up on this fine Sunday afternoon in Mr. Tom's neighborhood. Yep, there you are, friends and family. I thought you might stop by this afternoon. Yeah, and you're always welcome back to our neighborhood. And as you can see, we're back in the country kitchen again. And I got something I want to show you. Depending on what part of the country you live in, you may be familiar with it, or maybe not. But it's a staple in the South. So hey, pull up a chair, grab a cold drink, and sit a while. And let me show you what I got going on for my Sunday supper today. So yeah, we got everything set out here. And you'll be noticing, hey, there's a platter full of bacon over there. You might think, well, that's the star of today's show, but you'd be wrong. And we'll talk a little bit about the bacon, because it's some of that fine Sunnyland hotel brand. Hardwood smoked bacon, thick sliced it is. What we're going to be featuring today is a staple of breakfasts in the South. Now I'm originally from the Northeast, Pennsylvania and New York state. And we didn't know nothing about grits. Back in my childhood, we sort of tended to eat oatmeal and cream of wheat, or farina, which is another brand of wheat cereal. It's a hot wheat cereal, similar in texture to grits. But since I've been in the South so long, I've gravitated away from cream of wheat, and now I enjoy grits on a regular basis. And we have two here from the fine folks at Quaker. And they're made from corn. They're actually coarsely ground corn meal. Yes, they are. And we're using out of this box today, which was originally a 12-pack. And if you look at the best buy date right there, you'll see it was August the 25th, 1918. Yep. But they're okay. But they used to be 12 1-ounce packages. Imagine that. Forward over to today, not today, but on October the 14th, 23 is the best buy date of this box right here. There's only 10 packs. And they're only 0.98 of an ounce each. So yep, even shrinkflation has come to a staple of the South, our grits. We're going to be using 2 servings or 2 packages of instant grits original flavor, because we're going to flavor them on up with something we all enjoy. And that's where the bacon comes in. But something else I wanted to talk about, look at that price. That bacon right there, $1.50 for 12 ounces. Try to get that these days. Yes, sir. We got our eggs, a little bit of butter. So we're going to be using the bacon to flavor up our grits, even though these grits come original flavored, 4 butter flavored, 3 cheddar cheese, and 2 country bacon. But like I said, we're using the original, and we're going to flavor them El Natural with real crispy bacon. And of course, a little bit of that secret flavoring of the South, bacon grease, that we got right there in the old cast iron pan. We even got our grease crock out, coming to room temperature, so we can pour this lusciousness in to save it for another day. But something else I wanted to talk about. The prices where they're at. I got a little cheat sheet here to talk to you about the prices. You see, that 10-count packet of instant grits nowadays will run you $3.68 at Walmart, the cheapest I could find. And that's 36.8 cents each. So we're going to be spending 73.6 cents on our breakfast for supper tonight. The eggs over there were $2.64. So that's 22 cents a piece for 44 cents total. Yes, sir. And I haven't got the milk out, but we'll be using some milk in our grits because I like to. You can either use all water or all milk, or anything in between, which is what I do. And I'll be showing it to you when we make up the grits. And of course the bacon was $1.50, but I went ahead and looked at the price currently of bacon at Walmart. Cheapest I could find was $3.98 for 12 ounces. So that's 26.5 cents per a slice. And we're going to be using 4. So that comes up to $1.06. So anyway, the whole cost of this meal is $2.38. But something more importantly I want to talk about, and this is for seniors, the working poor, disabled, everyone living on a fixed income or barely getting by. And the one thing we all lack is not only vitamins in what we eat, but protein. With meat being so high, the main source of protein for most people is meat. Now beans will add a lot of protein too. And of course a lot of other vegetables have a little bit in it here and there as well. But meat and beans are basically the 2 power-packed protein examples there are. So let's take a look at that. For our grits, each package has 2 grams. So that'll be 4 grams a piece for this serving we're doing. Eggs are 6 grams. We're using 2, so that'll be 12 grams for our supper. We're going to be using a half cup of milk, which each cup of milk, and that's whole milk, has 4 grams. And then the bacon, 2 slices, has 6 grams, and that'll equal 12. So this whole meal we're putting together will give us 32.9 grams of protein. And if you know anything about the protein that we're supposed to be eating on a daily basis to maintain our muscles, let alone growing them, for women it's 50 grams, and for men it's 60 grams. So for us little old men, that'll put us just barely over halfway. So think about that when you're putting your next breakfast together. So it's a power-packed, protein-packed breakfast it is, whether you eat it for breakfast, lunch, or supper too. So hey, let's get making some grits and some eggs, flavoring it all up, and get this supper going on. Now the first thing we got to do, and I'm using whole milk today. You can use 2%, whatever you want to, or like I say, you can just use plain water. And we're making 2 servings, so I'm going to fill this up right to about a half a cup, right there. Yep, half cup on the nose. Now I'm going to fill it the rest of the way up with some filtered water. So a half a cup per serving equal 1 cup, okay? So I got my half cup of milk, my half cup of water, all sitting over there fine and happy. Got a little microwave safe bowl. Got Microsoft on my mind today. Been having a few computer problems, as they say. But we're just gonna pour in our grits. Now if you want to use the old-fashioned ones, you go right ahead. Or if you're gonna have to stand over the stove for about 20 minutes. And you make them just like Mother did. But we ain't cooking like Mom did. We're gonna take a spoon. We're just gonna mix them up, stir them up in that milk and water. Right there. And that bowl's gonna be just about right. And don't get in a hurry. These are instant grits. Just make out like if you were making them real in the stove, this would take 20 to 30 minutes. But let them sort of absorb that milk and water, just like that. Now, this is where the flavoring comes in. We're going to take some of that bacon right here. And we're just going to tear it on up. And this is crispy bacon. You don't got to care what size. Break it up as much as you want to, not as much as you want to. And just put it on in there. You can put one slice, or you can go like I'm doing and put in two. Trust me, you can't have enough bacon, right? Now if you wanted to put some butter in and flavor them with butter, I don't think there's no need, because we got all this luscious bacon going in. Ooh, look at that. Nothing better than licking the bacon grease off your fingers, is it? Now, we'll just mix in our bacon right there. And if you want a little more flavor, you can always add some bacon grease. And on those occasions that you slap out of bacon or don't feel like all the fuss, get you out a good teaspoonful of bacon grease out of your handy little grease crock. You know, like one of these right here, and drop on in there. That'll flavor it right up. Woo, yep, that bacon grease will flavor it right up. So we got this all ready to go in the microwave. Now, the cooking instructions are a minute to a minute 15 per packet, which is one serving. Now I've got two, so it's going to take a little longer. Is it going to take the whole 2 minutes or 2 minutes and 30 seconds? We'll have to wait and see, because all we're doing is rehydrating them. That's what instant grits are. They've actually been cooked once, dehydrated, so all you're doing is rehydrating. But let's get them on over in the microwave. So here we are over in the microwave. We're just going to set our grits with bacon right in there. Cover it up with a little paper plate hat. And we're going to set it for 2 minutes. Right there. And there it goes. Going around and around the nuclear carousel. In the nuclear oven, as we once called it. So once these are done. Now around the halfway mark, I would suggest giving them a little bit of a stirry. You know, a little mixy. And you're going to see that level go down as these start to rehydrate. And they're already smelling marvelous. Woo, yes they are. Put on the hat. Close her on up. And hit start. For another minute to go. Now, while we get our eggs going, because this is not only grits, but it's bacon, eggs, and grits, we're going to set our convection toaster oven, which means it's just a big air fryer too. Yeah, look that up, what an air fryer is. Yep, it's actually a countertop convection oven, if you didn't know. And I got one right here. Maybe you do too, and you didn't know it before you bought your air fryer. I've got some friends who didn't know they already had one. The air fryer, that is, sitting on their kitchen counter, like I did. But always one way to tell when things are really starting to capitulate in a microwave is you'll see a little bit of fogging on the glass. That's just one of those pro tips from an old cook back in his restaurant days. So, there you go. Woo! They were starting to get a little bit out of hand. Good thing we had that topper on. And these are really, really hot. So I got to get me a pot holder just to get them out. And like I say, then we're going to be setting them to warm in the convection oven at 170 while we cook up the eggs. Those are good, let me tell you. So we got our egg pan all heated up in our little old fry pan. So we just got to add some butter to get it all lubricated up. Now we're going to go in with a half a tablespoonful of this here luscious sweet cream butter in that nice hot pan, which on really, really low. But it's been preheating like I always do. Now I'm just cracking our eggs. Yeah, this pan goes everywhere. And I crack over the pan. Go ahead. Tell me I shouldn't do that, because you might get a shell in there. That's true. But I know how to get it out. Woo! Sort of got a little bit heavy-handed with that one and cracked my yolk, and I didn't want to. But you watch those start to fry on up. Why? Wash up. Now we got to season up our eggs. A little bit of salt, a little bit of that pure ground black pepper, and that's all we do. Then we're going to turn that heat up just a little bit to get them starting to fry on up. Now I don't like crispy eggs very often. I sort of like soft, sort of more like poached eggs, if you know what I mean. Otherwise, I could have cooked them over there and all that fine bacon grease and got them super crispy. And if that's what you like, that's what you should do. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of water, because I don't flip, and that way I don't have to, because the steam will cook the top of the eggs and the yolks. Now it doesn't take much, about a tablespoon right in there, and then place the lid, turn it up to low. Then we're going to watch our timer, and we're going to let them cook for about, depending on how you want your yolks, whether you want them super runny, that's about 2 to 3. If you want them sort of creamy and almost done, 3 to 4. So watch the timer and let me know when they're done. Well, those have been on there about 3 minutes. That should be fine. Turn off our heat. Yep. Give them a little cut right there. And now we just got to plate them up. And we got a plate right here. Ooh, look at all that egg goodness right there. There we go. Now if you want to add a little extra flavor, let me show you a trick. Just go over to this bacon grease right here and bring some over and just drizzle it on top of those nice hot eggs right there. Just like that. Don't take much. Woo! Now we've added some flavor. It's just like we cooked them in the bacon fat, but they're not crispy. Tender whites and creamy yolks. There we go. So let's get this all plated up. So we're going to take our grits out of the old convection oven. We're just going to add a little bit of that Southern goodness right there. We're going to give them a little mix up. Woo. Steaming hot they are. Ooh, and they smell so good. Put us on a couple of nice big spoonfuls of those luscious grits. And grits reheat easily in the microwave. But our plate's looking a little bare. Hey, we better throw some more bacon on there. So just for y'all, we'll add us a couple more strips. And there you go. And there we have it. Bacon, eggs, and grits. Bacon flavored, that is. Southern style. Let me show it to you in all its protein-packed goodness. Power pack to start your day. Every morning, whether you have it for brunch, lunch, or supper, like we're all having it today. So there you go. We got our 2 soft fried eggs with those tender, creamy yolks, giving us a whole 6 grams of protein each for 12 grams. We've got a serving of grits that's going to give us 2 grams per serving. Of course, we'll eat the rest too, I'm sure. We used a half a cup of milk, which gave us 4 grams, and of course the 2 slices of bacon and the 2 slices in the grits for 4 slices was 12 grams. So the whole total was 32.9. And it only cost us $2.39. And hey, if you want a biscuit or some toast, you can do that too. But let's check out and give these grits a taste test for me and all of you. So like I say, the only thing left is to taste these luscious grits. They're the star of the show. We already know my eggs are fabulous. And that there hotel brand bacon by Sunnyland can't be beat. And we're going to try a nice spoonful here of these grits. Woo! Woo! We almost dropped it. Oh, and you can see the bacon in it. It's going to be good. Oh, so good. I gotta have another bite. Excuse me. I'm telling you, if you want to wake up your mornings with an economical meal where you can enjoy some of the flavor that we all savor here in the South, get you a canister or a box of single serving grits and make them any way you want to. Put bacon in them, butter. Hey, you can become fancy. Make some cheese grits too. Or the most famous that spread grits all over the world during the last decade or two. Of course, we all know it, and that's shrimp and grits, as you knew. So hey, I hope maybe you learned something today, and this video was educational. If not, maybe it was entertaining, or a little bit of both. But hey, I'm starving to death, and I gotta eat, because time's moving on. So until the kitty crew that snuck by earlier by bribing them with treats, and of course little Gracie, the princess of the house too. See you on that next episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood. Y'all take care, stay safe, and live the best as you can with what you got and what you can. Until I and all of the kitty crew and Gracie see you again on the next video, may God bless you all. And you know we love you for all you do to make our lives better, as we hope the videos we put out right here in our little piece of paradise in the deep South help you in your lives as well. Goodbye for now. Oh yeah. The old boy is hungry. Yeah, bad part about doing this is you gotta clean up the kitchen. Yeah, but it's well worth it. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. Oh yeah. That brings back the memories when Mama cooked up Sunday breakfast too. Later all.